Humans and spirits have been known for some sorts of dealings. But are spirits and humans ever known to be in relationships? That even marriage is involved? How will such a union be like? Will a father allow his only daughter to be with a spirit? What is your opinion? After this story, share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Now the story. In the heart of the eastern Igbo land, in a village known as Umungede, there lived a young maiden named Nneka. Nneka was the daughter of a wealthy and respected man, Ichie Akulueuno. He was the chief trader of palm oil in the village, and his compound was the largest, filled with servants, goats, and even a big forest that lay on the outskirts of the village. Nneka had 7 brothers, each one as strong and proud as the next. Together, they formed a family that was as known for their wealth as they were for their unity. But Nneka, despite all the riches and blessings surrounding her, had one thing that troubled her family. She refused to marry any of the suitors that came to ask for her hand in marriage. And many came, rich men, warriors, farmers. Even one day, the prince of the village, Prince Ikenna, came to ask for her hand in marriage. Now everyone were happy, both in her family and in the village, that the prince wants to marry Nneka. But to everyone's surprise, Nneka refused the prince. She politely told him, "My prince, you are a noble man and a handsome prince, but I am very sorry, I cannot marry you. My heart is somewhere else." The prince, who is known for his arrogance and rudeness, became angry from the rejection. "You dare reject me? Who in this village is as handsome as I am, or richer than I am? I am Prince Ikenna, the prince of this kingdom, and the rightful heir to the throne. So you would refuse my hand in marriage for some unknown person?" Nneka, obviously disgusted by his pride, still answered respectfully, "I am truly sorry, my prince. I didn't mean to disrespect you. You can get any girl in this village, but please, I am not interested." She turned and went inside. The prince was furious, and so he left in anger. "Why will you not settle down, Nneka?" her father would ask. "Do you not see the men who come to you? You can choose anyone, and they will make you happy." But Nneka would smile softly and shake her head. "Nnam, when the time comes, you will all know." Her brothers would grumble among themselves, worried about her. "Is she too proud for marriage? Why does she not see what is good for her?" they would whisper. Her mother, Ojugo, would call her, "Nne, my beautiful daughter, Adadioramma, my morning sun, my pretty egg. What is the problem? You are ripe for marriage. Look, I got married before your age, and your father came and married me off. See how beautiful our home is, Nne. Don't you want to have a beautiful family? Many suitors have come for you from far and neighboring villages. You have refused all, even the prince. Look at me thinking that I will become an in-law to the royal family. But no, you rejected a whole prince. Nne, talk to your mother. I am your mother. What is the problem? Or are you from the marine world? Because people are beginning to talk. Please, my daughter, Why do you keep rejecting marriage proposals? Nneka looked at her mother with concern and love in her eyes. Nne, I am sorry for making you think so much. All these suitors that have been coming for me, my heart did not accept any of them. But not to worry, I have this feeling in my heart. Very soon, the one for me will come. Her mother resigned and gave a deep sigh. Even the village elders would ask her, but her answer never changed. When the time comes, you will all know. Nneka had a secret that she kept to herself for a long time. She has always loved the forest. She loved the way it whispered to her in the morning wind, the way the trees bent to greet her as she passed. She would go there every day, sometimes singing songs her grandmother had taught her, songs of the land, songs of the ancestors. One day, as Nneka was singing her favorite song in the forest, she felt something strange. At first, she thought it was the wind or perhaps an animal, but the feeling was different. It was as if someone or something was watching her, waiting for her to notice. She stopped singing and looked around, but there was no one. The presence, however, lingered in the air, as if the trees themselves had become aware of something. Fear crept into her heart, and she ran back home, her pulse racing. What is this feeling? She whispered to herself, but she did not dare speak of it to anyone. The next day, she went back to the forest, despite the fear. It was her favorite place after all, and no spirit or being would chase her away from it. She walked slowly, her heart heavy, and when she reached her usual spot by the old oak tree, she began to sing once more. As her voice echoed through the trees, she felt it again, the presence. This time, she did not stop. She sang louder, her voice growing bolder, until the presence became undeniable. Something or someone was surely there. Who are you? She called into the air. Show yourself. I am not afraid of you. A deep silence followed, and then, from the shadows, a figure appeared. At first, it was just a blur, but then suddenly, he stepped fully into the light. He was tall, with glowing skin, and eyes that shone like the stars in the sky. His clothes seemed to shimmer like the moonlight on the river. He looked unlike any man Nneka had ever seen. I am Okwudili, he said, his voice smooth like the wind rustling through the palm fronds. I am a spirit of the forest. Nneka's heart beat fast, but she did not run. Instead, she stood her ground, her curiosity outweighing her fear. A spirit? She asked, her voice steady despite the wonder in her chest. You are no ordinary spirit. You have come for me? The spirit smiled. I have come because your heart sings the song of the earth, the song of the ancestors. I have watched you, Nneka. Your voice is so beautiful and pure. You sing like a different being. Every day I come to this place, hoping to catch a glimpse of you and your music. I suddenly started growing this feeling. As a spirit, I have never felt like this for any being, not to talk of a human. I know it is absurd or even a taboo, but Nneka, I have fallen in love with you. Nneka felt a warmth spread through her, a feeling she could not explain. It felt strange, but she enjoyed the feeling. She looked at him again, now inquisitive. She asked him, "First of all, how did you know my name?" "I am a spirit, have you forgotten? I know your name, and I know you are the only daughter of Ichie Akuluono," the spirit Okwudili replied, with a smile on his face. Nneka still looked puzzled, but she continued, drawing close to the spirit. "So you have been watching me all along, every time I come here, Okay, was it you that I felt yesterday?" Okwudili nodded in affirmation. Nneka felt a string of happiness stir up in her. Why she was happy, she couldn't place it exactly. Could it be that she too has fallen in love for this spirit? But it's all happening so fast. All these questions were building up in her. Then she finally turned to the spirit. "I have to go home now and think about what you said. When I come back tomorrow, I will give you my answer. Will you be here tomorrow?" Okwudili nodded again in affirmation. And with that, Nneka stood up and started running home, this time with joy and a feel of love. When she got home, all she could think of was what Okwudili the spirit told her. She caught herself smiling from both cheeks. She couldn't have prayed for a faster dawning of the next day. When the next day finally came, she ran to the forest again, started calling out to Okwudili, who appeared from behind her, and with a glimpse of rich smiles and shyness, she said, "I have fallen in love with you too, Okwudili," she whispered. "But what will my family say? What will they think of this union?" Okwudili looked deep into her eyes. "Let them think as they wish. It is you and I who must choose our path. The earth has chosen for us." And they enjoyed each other's company. Nneka would visit the forest every other day. Her beauty began to glow the more. She felt deeply in love with Okwudili. They were happy and forgot about the world they both existed in. Okwudili calls her Achalugum, and she would often ask him why he calls her that. And he would answer that she is his beautiful and bright eagle. She enjoyed the name greatly. Alas, this was the one she has been waiting for. But Nneka knew her family would never accept a spirit as a husband. Her father was a man of wealth and status, and he would never allow such a union to take place. Her brothers would laugh at the idea of her marrying a spirit. But she had fallen in love with Okwudili. But then her duty to her family weighed on her. She did not know how to tell them the truth. Hello there. Please, if you have watched till this moment, kindly click on the like button. Comment if you can. Subscribe to my channel and click the notification button as I bring you more beautiful and captivating stories. Also, yes, tell us where you are watching from in the comment section. You are the best. Now, let us find out if they were allowed to be together, Nneka and the spirit Okwudili. And on one fateful day, after waiting for their daughter to come up with a reasonable response to her various marriage proposals she has refused and rejected, Ichie Akuluono threatened to marry her off to the prince. That was when she finally opened up that she had found someone, but he is a spirit named Okwudili, that they met in the forest. but they love themselves so much and she wants to marry him. Everyone began to laugh. They didn't make out any sense about what she was saying. She tried to convince them, but nobody could understand what she was saying. And with that, she was even banned from going to the forest. She was sad. The thought of never seeing Okwudili again haunted her for days. She was crying and was sad, but her family would hear nothing of it. Days passed, and Nneka's father arranged for her to marry the prince of the village. He was to them handsome, well-mannered and rich. Everything her family wanted for her. But Nneka could not shake the thoughts of Okwudili from her mind. She could not see herself getting married to that arrogant prince. She detested him, and there was nothing she could do about it. They would not allow her to get married to a spirit. It is believed that such a person is cursed. On the day of her marriage, as she was being led to the palace of the prince, something strange happened. The moment she laid eyes on the prince, a chill ran through her. His eyes glowed just like Okwudili's, and then there was a presence. The prince's face shifted, and suddenly she felt a similar presence. And as she was trying to place the feeling, she heard the prince say, "Achalugum." The spirit spoke through the prince's mouth. Nneka's eyes brightened. She looked around. "Okwudili, is that you? Where are you? Please show yourself to me." And the prince spoke again. "Achalugum, it is I." Now Nneka turned to the prince. He was looking different. Bright eyes, beautiful smile. He had this glow. She moved slowly to him, still surprised. "Is that you, Okwudili?" The prince nodded, and immediately she rushed him and hugged him deeply, with tears in her eyes. "How is this possible, Okwudili?" she asked him. "It is me, Okwudili, your love. I have entered Prince Ikenna. I have taken over him. I have become your husband." Nneka gasped. "But how?" The spirit smiled, his voice now soft and comforting. A spirit can enter the body of a man to be with the one he loves. It will take more than a prince to separate me from you, Nneka. This path has been chosen for us. Her heart leaped with joy, and in that moment, she knew that no matter what her family thought, her heart has found its place. Her father, her brothers, her mother, and the village all marveled at the union. "The earth has indeed chosen well," they finally said, for they could see the love that radiated from Nneka and her husband. Though they didn't know that it was not actually the prince, but the spirit Okwudili that dwells in Prince Ikenna. Only Nneka knew about this. And so, Nneka and Okwudili, now living in the body of the prince, were married, and their love became a legend told for generations. And as the elders would say, there is strength in the sky, but it is through a different path that one reaches it. And so it was that Nneka's love for his spirit proved that sometimes the path to true love is not the one that everyone expects, but the one that the earth itself has laid out for you. And they lived happily ever as it was destined. Thank you for watching. Click on the notification button Subscribe to my channel as I bring you more and interesting news. Bye for now. Cheers.